Working from instinct is really important because for me, it's the most accurate way that I can depict how I am feeling. It allows me to put my honest self into the work. I'm Vittoria and I am an illustrator. A lot of the work that I make focuses on femininity in the female form, and I work both commercially and editorially. Thank you so much for taking this class and for spending time with me. I'm super excited. Let's get started. Now we are going to draw with our eyes closed. I'm going to draw this on my computer because it makes it a little bit more interesting. Things that I want you to think about as we're getting into this exercise is the piece itself is also going to be a self-portrait. I want you to close your eyes and envision how you see yourself. It can be something that's abstracted, that's a pattern. It could be a collage with your eyes closed. Whatever kind of mood that you're in, let that piece kind of take on that emotion. And this is really important too, because similarly to drawing with our less dominant hand, drawing with your eyes closed kind of frees up your mind and allows you to just experiment and play with different form and your imagination. I am going to be using Adobe Photoshop on my computer and the trackpad. I make most of my work with my trackpad, and a lot of my artist friends get very confused as to why I don't use an iPad or like a tablet. I just love using the trackpad because it allows for natural errors to happen, but you can use anything. So I'm using Photoshop. Feel free to join me if you would like to use Photoshop as well. If not, feel free to do another drawing by hand with your eyes closed. Awesome. Okay. Make sure not to knock my laptop over while doing this. I've been known to knock coffee off of the table while I'm drawing with my eyes closed. So as you're drawing your portrait, make sure that any of those doubting words that you're saying to yourself, like, I feel kind of silly, it's okay. You're supposed to feel kind of silly. In these drawings, sometimes I suggest keeping them shorter, so we could do a few of them if you've got extra paper, or in Photoshop, just kind of save extra layers. That way you could save it as one cohesive file and reference it for the future if you'd like. That way you don't feel like you're focusing on one drawing for an extended period of time. Just because drawing with your eyes closed, I feel like you fill up the page a bit faster than if your eyes were open. So, I felt like I finished my first drawing, and this is what it came out to be, which is pretty awesome. I think the fact that you don't have any spatial awareness of the edges of your canvas or of your paper, physically you might, but being able to kind of go off of that and not worry about the boundaries is really interesting. I'm feeling excited. We're filming this, it's awesome. I'm also kind of experimenting with my own comfort level and being able to push that. So the serendipity of the portrait kind of falling off the side of the canvas speaks to that emotion that I'm feeling right now, which is kind of cool. So we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do this a few times, and feel free to do it for as many or as little times as you need. I like to do this probably 2 to 3 times. I'm gonna pick a different color. I'm gonna do blue. I'm also gonna decrease my brush size for this one. And for this one, I'm gonna try to do a profile portrait. I often feel that we don't really look at ourselves from profile because it's kind of difficult unless we've got a photo of ourselves. So it kind of makes it a bit easier to envision because you're not envisioning for accuracy. You're envisioning for what you think you might look like, so it kind of plays into your imagination. Again, now I'm attempting to draw a turtleneck because I love them. If I could wear a turtleneck every day, life would be pretty good. Unless it's 90 degrees out then, not so good. now I'm attempting to draw the plants behind me. I really love those from our first exercise. If you're drawing by hand, feel free to switch up the markers that you have or the colored pencils if you want to play with different colors. Before you start drawing with your eyes closed, make sure to kind of set those up with all the markers open. That way you don't have to worry about losing caps or anything like that on your pens. If you're drawing digitally, it might be a little bit more difficult to switch colors, but feel free to kind of like click off and then click back on and see what happens. I'm going to stick with the blue color that I originally made. And now that I'm feeling good about this second piece, I feel like I've kind of covered the whole canvas. I'm going to open my eyes and see what it looks like. Now for this piece, I think that the blue, I chose a color that is on level with my current mood, which is really excited, but also a bit calm. And this was an attempt to be a profile of my face. And for this piece, adding the plants in the background really brought a nice texture to it, and to be able to open up and see that the nose is much higher in the plane than the eyes, than the ears, it kind of gives this like upward looking feeling. And I feel like that also resonates with me because I was kind of feeling a bit hopeful today and a bit excited about what this class would become, and that's what this portrait looks like, so that's pretty awesome. We're gonna do one more portrait with our eyes closed, and hopefully at this point, now that we're kind of 2 in, you're feeling a bit more relaxed, you're not feeling silly anymore, you're like, this is a really fun exercise. I really love how my instinct is leaning into what these pieces are turning out, and even if they're not, that's still okay. The idea is to just kind of loosen up, get out of your own head, and enjoy making art for the sake of it. For this third one, I'm gonna pick red. I feel like my favorite colors change minute by minute. I'm feeling red. So for our third portrait, I'm gonna focus more on the plants behind me. So I'm gonna first start off and like make a smaller portrait of what I think I look like in the foreground, and then focus on the plants. The reason why I'm doing that is right now I'm just kind of, I wish I could be outside with the weather being a bit warmer, and being able to be in the sun and be around nature is always something that kind of rejuvenates me. So kind of wishful thinking as I'm putting that into this drawing. I'm feeling pretty good with this one. I think I got a lot of plant in there, so I'm gonna open my eyes. And I forgot to draw my eyes, which I think kind of leans into the entire idea of drawing with your eyes closed. So down here is the portrait, and then up here, I pretty accurately got a leaf-ish. And just being able to kind of draw my surrounding also kind of speaks to where I am physically. So it's pretty exciting to see.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.